Hello and a warm welcome to a very special podcast series, SheDiaries Trailblazers. This series is in conversation with trailblazing women from all across the world, from South America to North America to Africa to Asia and India, of course, and many other parts of the world. Our guests in this series are women of accomplishment. They have accomplished levels which many would have thought unimaginable at some point in time. They have broken silos, smashed glass ceilings, and surmounted multiple odds. My guest for this episode today is one such woman. Please welcome Shabana Nasim, Managing Director, NF Infratech Services. She works in the intersection of digital transformation, policy innovation, e-governance, and related areas. Welcome to the show, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Let's start off with something very fundamental, very basic. Take us through your journey. When you went out, what led to NF Infratech, and what was the background, and why did you end up doing what you're doing now?
So first of all, thank you so much for having me. Truly honored to be on this platform. And it's a long journey. I've been working the last 25 years. First 10 years, I was working in the corporate sector. And as a working woman, I realized that there are a lot of challenges in terms of company politics, in terms of a lot of, productive time being non-utilized.
Right.
And that's where I thought that we should have an organization where the culture is mostly for work, and a way, the work culture which I would want to propagate. So that's how the concept of NF Infratech started. And there was no looking back after that. We started the journey in 2010. And we started as an infra company. We were doing GIS mapping, urban planning projects, because I was earlier working with the Thapa Group, which was both into infra and IT. So I was doing business development for them. And that's how, when I thought of having my own company, I thought of having both the infra vertical and the IT vertical.
You work in an area, infrastructure.
Yes.
And also IT to some extent, which has been predominantly male-dominated. And it would not be wrong if we say that it has been predominantly a boys' club, this sector. Did you come across any prejudices when you started off in this sector?
So the prejudices that I came across, irrespective of being a woman, I would say that would also hold true for a man.
Right.
Why you have so many less women is because we do not attempt to be in those sectors.
Right.
Because right from childhood, we're trained that for women to be a doctor, it's good. To be in the education sector, it's good. But when it comes to engineering, infra, these are sectors which should be left for the boys.
Right.
And that's where I said, my mother never made any difference in bringing me up and bringing my brother up. And in my mind, I would always try to do things which men did and which boys did. Mm-hmm. So I was a tomboy in my childhood. That's how I was grown. I have grown, sorry. And that's how I was brought up by my mom. And of course, the journey was been evolving. The resistance, I would say, not because I was a woman, but because any new entrant, there's so much of competition everywhere that any new entrant would find a lot of competition. Because you have so many less women attempting for these sectors, therefore you don't find them. Resilience is one thing which we women have to always exhibit, but any entrepreneur, entrepreneurship journey is a very different kind of self-discovery.
Right.
So be it a man or a woman, the challenges could be a little different, but they're huge. So the company was started with the intent of having an organization where we take home our salaries without actually indulging into corporate politics and do actual work and go back home and look after our families.
Right. In one of the visible transformation that you can see in India is, of course, in the infrastructure space, because a lot is happening. roads are being built and massive infrastructure projects are taking place, and also in the technology space, because both have come. We are at probably the most defining moment of human history so far as technology is concerned, and the change is rapid. You're right in the middle of it. You're right at the intersection of both infrastructure and technology, and you are also an entrepreneur. What are the opportunities? Because India is growing at a certain pace. We are the second largest, we are the fourth largest economy in the world. We are the fastest growing major economy in the world, and in some time will probably be the third largest very soon. Which means infrastructure, because of its strong multiplier effects, is central to this growth. What are the opportunities that you see for women entrepreneurship in this sector?
So today, the infra sector is doing exceedingly well, and the environment for the infra sector is also very conducive. About 15, 20 years back, when I had ventured, the infrastructure sector, it was the challenges were too many.
Mm-hmm.
And the project, since I was a starter, the projects that I would get would be in rural India. So basically, those were remote areas. So for me to function became a bit difficult. While I was mother of two then third child came. So for me, it was very difficult to juggle between infra projects. That's how I thought consciously I'll go towards IT. And having the right people at the right place is, I think that's the mantra for an entrepreneur. We were lucky to be entering to the IT domain when Digital India started. So our honorable Prime Minister, with his vision in 2014, he started Digital India, and that was a time when we actually migrated from the infra sector to the IT sector.
Right. And, uh, you know, how can public-private partnership accelerate women-led innovation in India?
So, a public-private partnership can be another route of, development, and women being. We have heard today, today is a very special day. We're having the summit, the annual summit. We've heard how intuitive women are and how women can lead with empathy. So while in the government sector, in the public sector, things are happening for decades in a certain manner, women can be a change maker. They can be catalyst to change when they can bring the private sector and the public sector together. With a little bit of sensitivity, the private sector can, basically to build the trust in between and get them to work together.
But what are the challenges that women face in traditionally male-dominated sectors, women entrepreneurs?
Gaurav, again, I'll be a little repetitive. I had initially thought that the challenges are coming to me because I'm a woman, except for the fact that I can't attend late evening parties or I cannot network later in the evening. Those are the things because I have a family at home. I have children to look after. But other than that, because I'm a woman, people tried maybe once or twice I would come across a situation where they would try to put me down. Otherwise, it was never there. I have been lucky, fortunate, or else I have never seen from that perspective. Whenever I position myself, I've never seen myself as a woman. I've always seen myself as an individual.
Is capital a problem?
Yes. So capital is a problem because people have difficulties in actually trusting a woman's caliber, a capability
So
for basically taking economic decisions, getting, but I think it's the first or the second year of your starting, and when they see you growing and when they see you performing, then I think it just it's people, like, it's human
I know.
tendency, then they start believing in what you're thinking and what you're saying.
Absolutely. And finally, what message would you like to give to young women entrepreneurs?
So my message to all the young girls is that never consider yourself to be a girl or a woman when you position yourself at your workplace. It is as God has not made any difference in terms of the soul. Our soul doesn't have any gender bias. God has not made any woman's soul or a man's soul. So position yourself as a professional, as an individual. A man has certain strengths, a woman has few more strengths. Work on your leverage on your strengths, ignore your weaknesses, and you would see that there's no looking back.
Absolutely. Work on your strengths, ignore your weaknesses, and clearly there is no looking back after it. Wonderful note to end this conversation with. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Gaurav. Thank you for having
dropping
me
by
over.
and having this conversation with us and taking our time out and
My
sharing your
pleasure.
deep insights and perspectives.
Pleasure.